and we will be introducing our new student to live stream today in a few. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with our stream for today. MissWhis, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone watching?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm MissWhis. I am streaming Overwatch today. Now I'm not very good at it, but I'm gonna do my best.
I'm sure you're going to do great.
I try. That's the main part. Is that I try.
Yes, we love to see it. We have some people watching. Shout out to Goodwin and Smart Mike watching from Nigeria, tuning in today. We're so happy to see everyone. We are here with our UoPeople student. Once again, if you are not understanding what's going on, we have been, or we began on Friday with our first eSports live streams, and we are being basically taken through the world of gaming, led by our UoPeople students, and we have one on the call today. So go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit to the viewers and tell us a little bit more about your experience with UoPeople and your experience with gaming.
For sure. I started with UoPeople this year. I have always wanted to get my bachelor's in computer science. So that's kind of what I've been slowly working towards. It's been great so far. I've loved all the classes that I've taken, and I've really learned so much. I was I know some people are hesitant when it comes to online learning, but I had actually taken a distance course prior to this as well,
Oh,
completely online. So I was kind of familiar with the process, although it is slightly different.
right.
Especially with the like weekly discussion posts and stuff, that was something that was new for me. But I've really enjoyed being able to see stuff from a different point of view, and it really helps me think of problems and solutions in a different way, which has been amazing.
Yes, definitely. That's awesome. And especially with computer science, I feel like everyone who's a computer science major kind of enjoys working online and being able to work from their computer. So
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely something that is awesome. And then with gaming, I know you said you're not great at Overwatch, even though I know that you're probably gonna kill it today. But what are some of your usual games that you enjoy streaming?
So for usual games, I stream pretty much a little bit of everything. People like to watch me play horror games because I get scared at literally everything. Um, I do those every once in a while, but I have to spread them out because it does tend to stress me out a lot. Apart from that, I love playing survival games. Like any kind of game, I can just get thrown into a world and build my own little house and, cook food.
Yeah.
So, like Seven Days
Yes.
to Die and Subnautica are huge on my list. I play tons of those.
I love that. Yeah. I'm like, especially just gaming in general, I feel like it's such a way to kind of relax and unwind and practice a lot of the things that, we might not have time to do on a regular basis. So, that's really, really interesting. And I see here it says quick play, arcade, competitive play, and game browser. So what's the difference and which one are we going to play today?
So quick play is basically just for anyone who wants you're not really concerned about what your team is. So
Mhm.
you just kind of queue up and get thrown together with a team. Arcade kind of have some special game modes, and I think we're gonna start there today, just to get a little more, just a little more excitement in the gameplay.
Yes.
Competitive. obviously it's a little more serious, a little more stricter. People will really get on your back if you're not playing your role correctly, and so
Yeah.
I play comp every once in a while, but not all the time. And then for
Yeah.
game browser, it's essentially people will set up like custom games, and you can just join in their game there.
That's awesome. So I'm excited to see this arcade gameplay because I personally have not played Overwatch before, but I do see a lot of Overwatch gameplay sometimes when I hop on Twitch to watch those live streams. So that's really cool. Hello to everyone who is joining us today. We're here with MissWhis, and she is teaching us a little bit about Overwatch. Godwin said, "What is this live engagement all about?" So we have plenty of UoPeople students who are interested in gaming, and especially with everyone kind of being home and studying, it can kind of be hard to connect with your fellow UoPeople classmates and really get to see the other things that our students are involved with. So esports is something that a lot of people enjoy. Video games and playing competitively are things that a lot of our UoPeople students do. So we thought it'd be a great idea to bring a live series to the YouTube channel where we can talk to each other while we watch some of our UoPeople students and classmates play. So I hope that explain a little bit of what this live engagement is all about. Uh, Jonah said, I hope I said that name right. Said that I like to team up with you guys, but there's so much work to do at the uni that I barely have time to play. Yes, it's definitely a bit of a struggle to get gaming and work done. How do you kind of upkeep your gaming habit and your coursework when you're playing Miss Wiss?
So I'm actually probably the worst person to ask because my priorities are always terrible. I'm a procrastinator, although I've been trying to be better about it. But
I'm the
I
same.
just, but I always try to make sure I always leave enough time. And even
Right,
if I don't do my assignments right away, I make sure to review the material so that I know if I'm going to have any struggles in case I do need to
right,
put some extra time in. But I always try to put studies first and then add in some gaming after. Especially during the
exactly.
week. The weekends, I tend to lean more towards gaming just because it's, you have a long week and you need to relax a little bit. But
Right. Definitely. And honestly, it's kind of more like like think of like student athlete, but think student gamers. Like their studies come first and then gaming comes afterwards. So
mm.
luckily, our students are able to both game and get their studies done while doing this. So that's really fun. And which one of these arcade games are you going to be playing for us today?
So I'm gonna do Mystery Heroes, and I find that one's a good one as an introduction because you never know what hero you're going to play. So there's like a bunch
Ooh,
of different heroes to select from, and they all got different like skills and power ups. So I figured it'd be a
that's
little more
awesome.
interesting than me playing the same character over and over again.
Right. I'm excited to see the character. Let's get into it.
All
Hey
right.
Jay. Hey Jay for watching. Shout out to Paul from Nigeria. He's also taking computer science at UoPeople. So shout out to any of our other UoPeople's computer science students who may be tuning in and watching
I just clicked something on my screen. There we go. You'll have a quick blip.
It's all good. Let's see. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how this plays out because I haven't actually, seen Overwatch this way before. So I'm excited to kind of get to know it. And then the maps, like, are there maps in this game? Is it more of like they just throw you into something and you figure it out along the way?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different maps. There's a couple of different game modes as well. It looks like right now we're pushing a payload, and I'm a
Ooh,
healer, so I'm playing Mercy right now. I should
I love
probably
that.
not be in the middle of the fighting.
And what's this that she has in her hand? Is it a wand?
Yeah, it's just basically like a wand or a staff, so I can heal with one of my attacks or buttons, and then I can also power up my teammates
Ooh.
as well.
That's awesome. And is this character your favorite character that you typically play Overwatch with, or do you usually play with someone else?
I usually play someone else. I tend to play DPS more than I do healer, but I don't mind doing heals every once in a while.
And for those who don't know, what is DPS?
Oh, that's basically a damage class. So anyone who just basically runs in there and does as much damage as they can to the other
I love that. That's
team.
energy. Yes. And what kind of, like when did you start gaming? Have you always played games that are kind of similar in genre to Overwatch, or did you start gaming with a different game?
I started gaming when I was like a little kid. I think the first game I ever played was like The Lion King on Super Nintendo.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, so I've been playing games for a long time, but my dad got me into first person shooters fairly young because that's what he used to play.
Oh wow. I'm like first person shooter games, I always get stressed playing them because I feel like as soon as the other person comes, I'm just screaming in fear because I'm just like I don't know how I'm gonna aim and dodge at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's awesome that you kind of got to learn from your dad on how to play those first person shooter games because my mom didn't really play video games like that, so I had to kind of learn the ins and outs of gaming kind of on my own. So it's cool that you were able to kind of get a mentor early in life for games like this.
Yeah,
I'm
no, it
loving
was
it.
really awesome. My mom's not super into gaming either, so it really was all my dad.
That's still so awesome. And since being at UoPeople, have you been able to find more computer science students or just students in general who are into gaming? Have you been able to play with them, or do you usually just talk to them about the games you play?
Probably just talk to them. I'm pretty introverted. I'm trying
Yeah.
to get a little more out of my shell, and I'm hoping, especially with all the other individuals that you've put together that are all into gaming
Yeah.
here. I'm in the Discord. I'm hoping that we can get together and do some gaming, and I can get some new gaming buddies out of this.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Godwin said, "How much, or like, how do you get this game? Are you? Oh, victory! I know that's right. uh, do you play this? I see she was saying that she wasn't gonna do well, and of course she got a victory her first try. Like, you see how that works? You see how that works? But how like are you playing this on PC or console, and which do you usually prefer?
I'm playing on PC currently, and I do prefer PC for first person shooters.
Right. Yeah, I feel like a lot of times you have a little bit better control on PC when you're doing first person shooters versus
Hmm.
with console games. But it's really awesome that, Overwatch, how long has Overwatch been out at this point?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I started playing it about 5 years ago, and I think it was already out for a couple years prior to that. So
Wow.
it's been around for a while.
That's awesome. And it says first one of the day. I'm seeing all the points and all the
Yes.
wins. I love it. And I'm so happy that we have other people here who are also taking computer science who are watching. How has it been kind of learning about computer science since being at Yo People? I know being online is a little bit, sometimes it's difficult for people to adjust to online learning, especially at Yo People. But how has it been, learning about computer science in the Yo People way?
I think it's been great. I thought so far all the courses I've taken, even though I had a background in programming coming in, I feel like I've still learned so much.
Yeah.
Whether it be just the different resources that have been made available to me and videos and all that sort of thing. I really have learned a lot, and like I said before with the discussion post, just being able to see how someone else breaks down a problem,
Mm.
it's been another great way to think of in a different way.
Wow, yeah, that's definitely something great to know as well. Someone asked if you do happen to know this, what GPU are you using?
I am using a GTX 960 right now.
Yeah, so those of you who might not know that much about tech and all those other things, you can definitely get a little bit more into that and understand a little bit more about that, by watching these live streams with our very well versed computer science students. We also had someone in the chat say that They think Free Fire and games like that are harmful. And that's a misconception that a lot of people actually have about first person shooter games. There's actually a lot of research that shows that first person shooters can actually help improve your cognitive function. It can help with your hand eye coordination, spatial reasoning, spatial focus, visual acuity, as well as your decision making. And there's actually a great article written by Polygon on that. So, Jose, if you are interested in learning more, you can learn more about how helpful that can be to your, cognitive ability used on this link. And how have you really been enjoying first person shooter games personally? Have you felt like you're more focused or been able to kind of think quicker while after playing or while playing these games, or do you think there hasn't really been any help with that?
Oh, definitely. It really does help me focus, and um, the hand-eye coordination, being able to like think of multiple different ways, like keeping an eye on my back, watching enemies from the front, and
Right.
especially with something like Overwatch, when you have heroes with all these different skills and powers, being able to figure out what's the best character to use against what their team composition is, and stuff like that. Because each character
Exactly.
kind of has like a weakness, and there's a equivalent character that can kind of like stand up to it. So there's no like unfairness. It can be all equal depending on which character you end up picking.
Yes, definitely. And that's something that a lot of people sometimes struggle with when understanding first person shooters. They might think, oh, it's just like violence or something, but a lot of times it's not really trying to depict real world violence. These are magical, as you can see, these awesome effects and things like that would not happen in real life. You wouldn't see all these plus signs for healing. You wouldn't see all these really cool graphics and really shiny things that are happening in real life. And I think that a lot of times is the difficult part that people don't understand about first person shooters. It's not supposed to be like real life. It's supposed to be a game. So, excuse me. I think that learning a lot about those cognitive benefits, especially for higher education, when people might not have as much time to have fun or as much time to train their minds, they can kind of do that while having fun playing video games. Um, we also have somebody mentioning Counter-Strike and Day of Defeat, which is awesome. Thanks, Toby. He says this is so cool. Thanks, Toby, for watching with us today. And excuse me, can you tell us a little bit about like some of the weapons that you're using? And I see like there's a basketball and a super awesome globe. Like how are those things helping you when you're playing the game itself?
For sure. So right now I'm playing Torbjorn. So his main thing is he's got just basically kind of like a pistol. It's like a single shot pistol. I can also do a burst. But his main skill is that I can throw down a turret and repair it if I need to. So I just need to find a good spot to put it.
Yeah. Hey, Reem. Reem said that you're really good at this. So
Thank you,
shout out
Reem.
to her for watching. And it's really exciting to just kind of see everyone's different gaming styles. Because if you haven't watched our other 3 streams from Friday, make sure to check those out on our YouTube channel. They have been great. We stream Apex, we stream Monster Hunter World, and we stream Valorant. So you can watch those streams and get to know a little bit about the rest of our students who are streaming. We have plenty of other students who haven't gotten to stream yet. So I'm excited for you guys to get to know them and for them to kind of talk a little bit more about their, gaming experience. And what's like one of your, most favorite things about gaming and least favorite things about gaming?
So my most favorite thing about gaming is probably overcoming something that I struggled with. So Dark Souls is a big plays a big part in my life. It was one of the first games that I played that I stuck through. That was super difficult for me, but it was so rewarding when I finally was able to get past those challenges.
Right.
So it's just the feeling of success when you finally beat or get whatever you've been aiming for, gaming for.
Exactly.
The thing I hate the most is probably when I play online games, toxic individuals.
Yeah.
I know that's almost to be expected, but it can really bring down the vibe, especially when you're having a good time.
Yeah, definitely. And that's something that we really want to kind of avoid here. This is really supposed to be a safe space of people who enjoy gaming and really get to understand a little bit more about gaming, about the mechanisms of gaming, about, gaming stories or companies. And I think that with multiplayer gaming, especially online, and I said it as well on our first stream with a girl gamer. Sometimes as girl gamers, it's hard to, be taken seriously, even though we are just as good as any other guy gamers. So that's usually my biggest pet peeve when I go to play games online, which is sometimes why I usually just say I'll just play solo and won't
Yeah.
play with anyone. I'll just keep my mic off so no one can hear me. But I think that it's really important that we have that representation in games as well as one live streaming. And I'm really glad that you, as well as the other girls on the team and guys, of course, have been able to kind of work together and play together to become better gamers overall.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
And the thing about being a girl, I felt that a lot growing up, and I actually would make user names that were very ambiguous. And it wasn't
yes,
until like the last few years that I really just kind of embraced it, and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm MissWhis. I am a girl. Yes.
yes, exactly. And put some respect on Miss Weese's name because she's over here killing it and doing a great job on Overwatch with a second victory again. So she is doing a great job. Two victories so far, two games. So shout out to her. Girl gamer power. Yes. Yes, Stream. I love it. And I think that a lot of times too, I kind of was doing the same thing as a girl gamer. I would really be saying some type of ambiguous name, or I would just not pick the girl characters because I don't want people to know. But
Yeah.
then I do think there was kind of a shift in the last few years with everyone kind of being home and being online. I got to get in touch again with my gaming side, and I had a little bit of extra time to game since I didn't have to physically drive to work every day. And some of those hours of driving turned into hours of gaming, and then days of gaming, and weeks of gaming. So I think that now with everything going on in the world, more people are home, more people have time, and there are so many free games out there. Is Overwatch isn't a free game, correct? Or is it free for PC?
It is not free, unfortunately. Although it
Okay.
does go on sale a lot. So I would definitely wait and see if it goes on sale. Plus, Overwatch 2 should be coming out sometime in like the next year or so, I'm hoping.
Perfect. Yeah, so Overwatch is one game that is not free, but there are a lot of different people who play it, and especially with the, holidays coming up, the end of the year soon, I'm sure they might have like a New Year deal or a New Year sale for Overwatch. So if you're interested in that, definitely make sure to check that out. Toby said he's a computer science student here. The workload won't let him play, honestly. However, he's enjoying every bit of his school study. So I'm so glad to hear that, Toby. What do you think, or like, how do you think when you're, trying to set up time to stream? Do you usually like make a set schedule so that you can actually, I know you said usually you focus it on the weekends, but what happens if, maybe your workload is really heavy that week, but you still want to game? Do you just say, forget gaming, I'm just going to focus on work, or do you try to work as hard as you can so you have a little bit of extra time to game?
I usually try to work as hard as I can so I can at least spare a little bit of time. It's really my stress
Yeah.
relief, and it is a huge part of my life. Like, even if I'm just sitting around watching TV or something, I'm usually playing something in the background, even if it's just like solitaire or Minesweeper. Like, I'm always playing something.
Yes, I love that. And I feel like I'm the same. I feel games are just they're such a stress reliever, especially if you do have a large workload. And if you're somebody who's like, I know I won't be able to focus and play a game, you can always come over to our YouTube channel and watch our live stream with our students gaming, in the background while you're studying or maybe while you're eating a meal or something. So you can still get a little bit of some of your favorite gameplay in case you aren't able to hop on your console or PC to play it yourself. Um, so, MissWhis is over here doing a great job. Like, I'm over here stressed for her. Oh no, but still.
Well, this should be better.
No.
This is my favorite character, so.
Oh yes, I'm so excited. Um, Reem said that time management is important and leaving some time for relaxing and gaming is a must. Yes,
Mhm.
work-life balance is a lot is something that a lot of online students struggle with, not just at UoPeople. So making sure that you kind of have a balance so that you're not burnt out by the end of the term is really important. And luckily our students here who are live streaming to the channel are able to have that good work-life balance and they're able to stream and work together in that way. Um, uh, Jonah, I hope I'm saying your name right. I apologize if I'm not. Or Joanne said, I'm looking forward to the courses on cryptos. I can't wait to take those. Yeah, cryptocurrency is a super big thing in the world right now, and being able to understand that is really important. So we will be offering courses on that soon. They're really so interesting. Have you ever like heard about crypto or do you know anything about crypto, Miss Wiss?
I know very little about crypto. I know
Yeah.
the basis, but I haven't really gone down that rabbit hole yet.
Yeah. I'm kind of in that same world. I know about like Bitcoin and they have all the other ones that are popping up as well. But I might have to, maybe take a course at Your People to learn a little bit more about that in the future because it's
Mhm.
definitely going to become, a little bit more of a norm. Uh, Look at Sabron, I hope I said that right, is doing his Your People assignment and watching our live stream. So you see multitasking, work-life balance. We love to see it. Looking great. Oh, it's okay. She suffered her first defeat of the day,
Yep.
but she already has 2 wins under her belt. So we're over here. We're doing good. We're doing great. And it's amazing how different the characters are from each other.
Mhm.
How often do they release new characters or do you have to buy them if you want them?
No, they do release them as like a free update. They don't release new ones all too often. I think the last new one came out, I'd say at least 6 months ago.
Oh
So
wow.
it's definitely been a while since they've had a new character. Plus, I
Probably
mean, there's a lot of work. They have to go, balance everything, and
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. It's not easy to put together a new character with new effects and new machines and just do everything that you can think of. It's definitely difficult.
But there's a
So,
large catalog of characters.
right. I saw notice because even in each of the rounds you went through, it was like everyone looked so different from each other. Oh, look at all of them. Like that's like what 30 characters right there at least.
Something like that,
So,
yeah.
yeah, they have a large variety to choose from. So if you're someone who's like, oh, I need a game that has more than 6 main characters, then Overwatch is the game for you. Uh, Sabron said he lost 10 Bitcoin back in 2010. Honestly, Bitcoin, if you would have bought it like a decade and a half ago, it probably is worth so much more now. So that's
Mhm.
definitely kind of, I wish you would have had it still. I wish, Reem said I own $27 from mining Bitcoin. Excuse me, mining Bitcoin. It is not that much, but it's an interesting experience. Yeah, it takes time really to understand cryptocurrency, so don't feel alone. Don't feel bad if you are, not understanding of it now because it definitely takes time to understand it fully.
Oh, definitely. I've thought about starting to mine, and I downloaded a few things, but I haven't like jumped into it yet. I'm still kind of
Yeah.
hesitant because I don't really know a lot, but
Yeah, it takes time definitely, but it's better than not having any type of
Mhm.
understanding. You have to start somewhere, especially even with gaming. We all do not start as the best gamers in the world, but it takes time and practice to really learn anything. So, just if you're interested in learning about crypto, make sure that you do your research because you can lose money on crypto. It's not the only way. You can't just make money from it. So, yeah, we are starting a cryptocurrency endowment. So I think that'll be a lot of people's first entrance way or first understanding of how cryptocurrency works.
Awesome. I really can't wait.
Yes. And this is so cool. I'm like, is there a name for this location that they have you guys battling in or
Yeah, we're on Blizzard World right now. So there's like a different section for like all the Blizzard games. So there's like a Flight to Duskwood, So there's like little references all over the place here of different
Ooh,
Blizzard games.
that's awesome. Like looking at the maps, and it's amazing how many different worlds and how vastly different each of the worlds are from each other. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's not based off of anything you would see in real life. It's really just based off of people's imagination, which is
Mm-hmm.
really awesome. And I know you said like you're studying computer science at UoPeople, so are you interested more in like the programming side of computer science, like marketing of computer science, graphics of computer science? What do you want to do with your degree once you have it?
My ultimate dream, with it to be able to do with my degree, is I've always wanted to make my own video games. So obviously,
Yes.
understanding programming is a very pivotal part, especially if you want to build something from the ground up, or
Right.
really have control over your product. So that's probably my main dream. Although I'd be happy programming any sort of application or anything like that.
I love that. And if you could, make your own game, today, what kind of, what game genre would that be?
I'm thinking it'd probably be a survival just because of my passion for survival games. Next best would probably
Yes.
be an RPG because I do love RPGs.
Yes, honestly, I feel like RPG games are one of my favorite, or just kind of like sandbox games where you get to chill out and just, relax. I'm a big simmer, so I'm always gonna, play The Sims.
Yeah.
But I think games in general are just really fun. Even if you can't play it with a whole bunch of other people, just being able to play something you yourself enjoy is really cool. And most people are like, oh, I don't like, not most people, but some people are like, I don't like video games at all. But I think there really is a video game out there for everyone of every age.
Oh
So
yeah.
all you got to do is find it, and trial and error is a thing. So we're gonna be showcasing a lot of different games on the YouTube channel so that people who might not know what games they're interested in watching can, see our students' gameplay and see how you guys are enjoying the game before they go out and potentially spend money that they might not have to have spent if they didn't watch you guys play it themselves. Yes, Overwatch is a lot of fun. Uh, yes, MissWhis, you might have honestly made it fun too. I think it's a unison. I think it's the melding of the two.
I just try to go
Someone
out
said
there and have fun. It can be stressful
yes.
though.
It can be, but you're honestly holding up great, and you already have 2 wins under your belt, and you're doing fire. The fact that you can literally talk and aim and concentrate, like you see the multitasking that video game allows you to do. I love it. Uh, Someone said you can create video games using Blender or Unreal Game Engine. Have you ever used Blender before? Have you tried out any, gaming creation softwares, or have you just really been trying to learn the coding?
I have a little bit. I've used RPG Maker, which really is game making simplified. There's really no programming involved, but it does help you to start thinking
Yeah.
of how to build a game. I do have the Unreal Engine downloaded. I just haven't jumped into it quite yet. Because even though I've got a little bit of programming experience, my experience with like rendering and making an actual person to be able to program is not very good.
Yeah. But you might be able to know, who knows, maybe one of your classmates will be able to,
Mm-hmm.
hop on one of your games and you guys might be able to create everything together. It might be fun in that way.
Oh, for sure.
And it's just another victory on top of victories. Just winning, the winning team over here.
It's definitely my team. They're carrying me.
But you're doing great, honestly. And I'm glad that you're able to get with this team so early on, because I feel like a lot of times with online games, if you don't have a good team, it's just pretty much over for you.
Oh
So
yeah.
a lot of people kind of stick to the same teammates or they only stream with certain people. So I think that that's really cool. And I know that you as well, you do have, if you're interested in following Miss Wiss on any of her other social media accounts, she has a Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and all of those are in the description box. So you can click those links and follow her there. But out of all the like social media websites that you use for gaming, which one is your favorite?
I probably use Twitter the most. I just have made a lot of contacts on there, and I've already got like a group, kind of like a clique that I always
Yeah.
communicate with, and we always like, they always post great content and stuff, and very engaging stuff. So I probably use Twitter the most, and it's probably my favorite for finding out gaming news and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like Twitter is really up to date and you can
Mm-hmm.
always hop on there and see exactly what's going on or exactly what's trending. So
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy using Twitter too. I think out of all the social media platforms, it's one of my favorites, especially because things are still kind of in chronological order, unlike the other places. So that definitely helps when I'm trying to find out some in the now information.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you've been gaming since you were young, but how long have you been streaming for?
I started streaming probably, actually, it'll be almost 5 years ago. Oh my goodness! So it's been kind of
Wow.
on and off, but yeah, I started my first stream probably about 5 years ago.
Wow. What made you want to start streaming out of, five? I know 5 years ago are a lot of, it's been probably hard to remember after everything that's happened in the last 2 years. But what made you kind of get interested in wanting to stream?
So for me, I talk to myself a lot, and because I play a lot of games, I was like, you know what? If someone's gonna listen to me, and I figured it would be a great way to just passionately talk about games I like, and just have that conversation, like, oh, I really like this level, and then someone comes in and is like, oh, I really like this level too, and then it's like you almost have made like an instant new friend. And I
Wow.
just love that interaction and being able to talk about the things that I love, and gaming's always been one of them.
Yeah, and I think that's really like one of my favorite things about streaming as well. You get to really talk to people in real time from all over the world who are interested in the same things that you're interested in. And I don't feel like it was that easy to do back when we were kids and not everybody was online or really understood streaming. But I think once, 2020 came and then quarantine happened and more people were stuck in the house, they realized how amazing it is that you really do still get to talk to people in real time and get to talk to them about things that everyone that's on that live stream are interested in. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's one of the best parts about live streaming, especially video games. I've learned so many things that I didn't know while live streaming, or like someone's like, "Oh yeah, like that's probably broken because you had this in your game and then I took it out and then my game is running faster," or
Mm-hmm.
they teach me how to stream, with higher quality. So I feel like every time you stream, you just kind of get to learn something new about yourself, about the people who are watching, and about the game that you're playing.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And especially when I'm playing like a survival game or something like that, I might not do something optimally, and someone will be like, "Oh no, you're doing it this way, but it's actually better if you do it this way." And then all of a sudden, it's like my entire way of playing has changed because.
Exactly. Because you learn something new, and that
Mm-hmm.
and that's honestly one of my favorite part about gaming, because when people think about video games they don't necessarily think about like education. They might be
Mm-hmm.
like, what do video games have to do with education? But there are a lot of studies that show people learn really well when it's in the form of a game,
Mm-hmm.
and people are actually more willing to learn when they are learning things in the form of something fun, like a video game or a video of a video game, versus when you're just kind of telling them information. So I feel even though you might not learn everything about life from video games, I feel like learning about communication, learning about how to, hear constructive criticism, because sometimes you might be carrying the team or you might be holding the team back. Whatever the constructive criticism is, while you're gaming, I think that gamers always help each other get better, regardless of what game they might be playing. It really always feels like a team effort in some way when you're kind of live streaming anything. any video
For
game.
sure.
Yeah. Wen is in the chat. He says what he's afraid of is doing his own online stream for gaming is the trolls and the negativity of the chat, which is something that a lot of people actually fear when doing live streams. A lot of people are not comfortable doing it alone because they know sometimes people can be negative and it can be hard to keep up with the flow of a chat while you're keeping up with the flow of a game. But if you've ever dealt with negativity on a live stream, how have you dealt with that, and what kept you coming back to streaming?
I mean, obviously, yeah, I've experienced it a couple times. I try to either make light of it, kind of make a joke. Obviously,
Yeah.
if the offending person, keeps going, I'll usually just like ban them and
Yeah.
just be that because all the trolls want is they want a reaction out of you. They want a negative
Right.
reaction out of you. If you're reacting positively and you're just like taking everything they say in stride, it really can frustrate them because they're not
Yeah.
getting the reaction that they want. So the best thing I
Definitely.
can say is, yeah, just either take it in stride, and if it's really affecting you, just block them.
Yeah. And that's the one number one thing I think when you're online, a lot of people think that you don't have to protect your peace or you're not allowed to protect your peace. And block that person. Block them and don't think twice because the one thing about the internet is you can kind of curate it, and especially gaming, you get to curate the community that you surround yourself in. And there are, a few bad ones when you do get online, and you might not realize that until after you've been streaming for a while. But never feel bad. Like I know some people are like, "Oh, you're weak for blocking me or for muting my comment," but sometimes you just have to because it's not going to be a fun experience anymore if every time you hop on a live stream, the same person is making you feel bad. So make sure that if you are interested in live streaming or if you do live stream in the future, that you protect your peace and you only, communicate with people who are reminding you of the fun of gaming, because gaming is always supposed to be fun no matter what people try to say. If it's not fun, then you probably shouldn't be playing it, or you probably should find a new game, a new game to play.
Oh yeah, and if
But
you're streaming, it's your space, and that's what people tend to forget because it's like, well, the viewers are here supporting me, but at the end of the day, it's your space. You make your rules, and never feel bad for creating your own boundaries.
exactly, exactly. Because especially being online, a lot of people think that, oh, well, you're online and you're live, so why can't I understand like everything that's going on with you? But there's still that layer of privacy that everyone should be allowed to have, even when streaming online or even when streaming with their friends. It's just whatever makes you feel comfortable, because that's the best part about gaming. I think that everyone gets to kind of build themselves up and get into their own element and figure out what their gaming style is. And I think live streaming kind of lets you see the world of variety that there is in gaming.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Alex is, and I'm just like watching MissWhis over here killing it, literally, figuratively, just carrying the team.
Just trying to heal everyone the best as I can.
Yes. I think that's honestly, I'm usually I don't play like first person shooter games, but if I do play games that are team games, I'll usually play a support role because I do find those the most fun and the most entertaining, because someone's always going to be hurt, but if you
Yeah.
have the support to support yourself and them, then things will go a lot smoother.
I also like playing kind of hybrid. So the character I'm playing right now, Anna, I consider kind of a hybrid because her main attack, it will heal my team, but it actually hurts the other team. So I can do
Oh.
good damage, but I can also really do good healing on the same points as well.
Wow, I didn't even know that was the thing, but that makes a lot of sense. Like while you're healing, you can still actually, injure the other person, which makes it kind of makes it feel like you're doing even more for your team, which is we love to see it. Uh, Wen said, "I love gaming, but how can you be different than other streamers online that have already done what you're doing?" I know that can be a hard question as well, but how can you like distinguish yourself from everyone else who probably games the same way?
The thought process I've always gone into it is there's rarely a unique idea anymore. So the best thing you can
Mm.
do is just be yourself because people are going to be drawn to who you are. Certain
Yes.
personalities don't mesh, and I know plenty of chill streamers. I know plenty of streamers who are super energetic and loud, and they all have their own little communities just based on who they are. So the best thing is I can say is just be who you are, play what you want to play, and don't hold back your personality or try to change it. Just be authentic.
Yes, definitely. I think that sometimes too, some like especially for a lot of times, a lot of the big gamers, they are seemingly more of the extroverted type. They can be loud and have all the cool widgets and effects on screen, but you don't have to be that gamer if that's
Mm-hmm.
not anything that you're interested in, and that doesn't make you a lesser of a gamer. I was listening actually because we were talking about Twitter earlier. If you didn't join us earlier, thanks for joining us now. But we were talking about Twitter and how up to date things can be in the gaming community. And I was actually listening in on a Twitter space for gaming, and they were talking about how when it comes to streaming, a lot of times people call themselves like small streamers
Yeah.
or small influencers, but like even saying that you're small is kind of a negative connotation. So just think of yourself as like a micro streamer. You're not streaming to a big group of people, but you're
Mm-hmm.
streaming to a smaller group of people. That doesn't make you a small streamer because I mean, even if I was to stream or stand in a room of 10 people, that would be a lot for me to just talk in front of
Yeah.
them. So, being able to stream in a room of 5 or 10 or 15 people, it's still a big accomplishment and it still counts as a stream. And yes, MissWhis with another victory with her team. I see that. I know that's right. But it's honestly just really fun, and I think that streaming is something that everyone should be able to get into, and I think it will become a lot more normal in the future when people are just going to be home more and be
Mm-hmm.
on their computers more. And it's awesome that we're kind of already starting and starting that trend on live streaming and being on there because video games are going to be a really big part of, I think, the world. They're even talking about like the metaverse. It's kind of giving like a Mies slash IMVU slash Second Life feel, but video games are something that I think are going to become more integrated in society without people realizing how often, animated features or animated characters are just in their day-to-day lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, usually, do they have like special events in Overwatch, or is it typically just uh you can hop on for whichever games that you're interested in, like the arcade games or anything else?
So they do special events. So they've got like a summer games. They've got a Halloween event. They've got an anniversary event, and actually each event has special skins that you can get for each character. So that's what those loot boxes are that I've been getting. You can win them. You can also purchase them. I personally don't because I get enough through playing.
Yeah.
But essentially, you get loot boxes, and there's special skins that are only available and only drop during those specific events. So I
Oh
use a lot
wow.
of Halloween skins. This Moira right here is actually using my favorite Halloween skin. She would hold
I love
still.
that.
But yeah, so they do special events, and they'll have like special game modes and stuff, which is a lot of fun.
That's awesome. What would you say has been like your favorite event so far that they've done? I know you said the Halloween skin was your favorite, but which event was your favorite that they did?
So my favorite event is actually called Lucio Ball. I
Hmm.
believe it's during the summer game event. There's a character Lucio. He basically just rolls around on roller skates everywhere, and it's basically soccer, but with teams of Lucios hitting the ball into a goal.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Like that sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh
And
yeah.
when said I've seen gamers that stream and they can make it as a full-time job that makes money. He wants to do that someday. Jay said that would be cool. Yeah, I think that would honestly be awesome to be able to make gaming a full-time job. I wish, one day in the future maybe I can be a full-time, streamer because it's a lot. People think that it's easy, but it can be really hard getting your streaming setup together and getting your game to not freeze on you or act up. or just randomly cut off in the middle of your stream. So I think that it's really important to be able to, practice and see yourself grow. Because I'm sure that MissWhis, she's had a lot of different overlays and a lot of different games that she's played since she started her streaming experience 5 years ago. And I'm sure if she looked back at her first stream, she was probably like, "What is this? Why, why is my setup like this?" But being able to rewatch what you've done helps you see how much you grow in your streaming progress. So if you're kind of on the fence about starting your stream, just know that every streamer do not start off the way that they are when they get famous or when they start doing it full time. They all have to start somewhere, and somewhere might be with like the worst graphics and the worst overlay possible. But if you start, that means that you can, you never finish, and you can always keep improving on the things that you release. So
Absolutely.
never, yeah, don't forget that.
Yeah, I think I started streaming directly from my PS4 with no camera and no microphone. So
Wow.
you just kind of upgrade everything as you feel comfortable and you're able to, and just go at your own pace. The
Yes.
best advice I ever heard is if you want to stream, just stream. Don't worry about all the flashy notifications and overlays, and just pick up a game and stream it.
Yep. You don't have to have even a microphone. Like if you're someone who like can't afford to buy a microphone just yet, and you don't even have an overlay and you don't even have music or whatever, that's fine. Like there are people who really are interested in strictly watching gameplay and looking at new gameplay, and you'll be able to find subscribers and find people who want to watch you game, but you have to put out something for them to watch. So even if that something is not to, the standard of what you think a stream should be, you're going to create your own standard of streaming. So don't look to everyone else to figure out what you should be doing. Do it yourself, and then, figure it out along the way.
Definitely.
Like, she's doing it. I'm like, what technique, or how do you think you kind of learned your technique for this game? Because I feel like you're just doing so well, and I could never. I'm just like, this is like magic to me watching
Uh,
this.
Most of it was just playing mystery heroes and getting exposed to all the different characters, because they do play so differently. I did that until I felt good with a character, and then I kind of stayed with that one for a while.
Yeah.
They killed me? Oh no, they killed my tire.
Oh.
But yeah, once I got a character, I really stuck with the character to learn the ins and outs of
Yeah, I think that's so sometimes, especially for first-person shooter games or just games with only, maybe a handful of characters. Some people try a character for like a game and then switch in between many different characters. So if you kind of want to get better at, a first-person shooter, choose one or two characters to always practice with, so you can kind of learn all of their abilities, when you can use them in a game. And here we are with another victory. I think this is number 4. Like it hasn't even been an hour yet. Killing it. I love it. But yes, I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize it was already noon. Time is flying by. But did you want to play another one, or did you want to end off on this victory? I'm fine either way, because we did start the live stream a few minutes after 11. So it's up to you, MissWhis.
we can go one more. Might as well.
Yes.
We'll do something other than mystery heroes, though. Let's switch it up for the last one.
Yes, let's do it. I'm excited. Someone or Ken, if any, I don't know if anyone else is watching. But he said, anyone into aviation sims. I know they aren't a game per se, but he enjoys watching them. If anyone is interested in there.
Okay.
One said, I'm thinking about doing mobile gaming streams. There's not of that on YouTube, I don't think. We actually do have one person on our team who is planning to stream his mobile gameplay. So we're trying to kind of figure out how that works from, streaming from his phone to YouTube. So once we get that in the works, fingers crossed in the next few weeks, we'll be able to have our first mobile live stream on the YouTube channel. So that's where we're hoping to go with that as well. Yes, Jay asked a great question. What games do you play when? And everyone else in the chat, what games do you all play? What games are you interested in seeing our UoPeople students play? We might be able to kind of switch up some of our streaming schedules in the future so that we can showcase some of the gameplay that you're interested in watching. Uh, One said he's trying to learn how to map his keyboard and mouse for mobile gameplay. Yeah, that's very hard to do. I actually haven't heard of it being done before, but once you figure it out, please let us know so we can, share that information with anyone else who might be trying to figure out how to become a mobile gamer. Um, Caveman has a question for you, MissWhis. It says, say you decide to stream a game you've never played before. Does that experience take away from your enjoyment of playing it since you have to manage streaming and your viewers too?
It can, depending on the game. I find if it's a story-based game, it can, because you have to worry about people coming in and spoiling the story for you, which is
True.
really terrible. But most of the time, I like it because it almost gives me more to talk about, because I process my thoughts out loud. It's like, what do I do here? Okay, maybe I have to do this. Maybe I have to do this, and it just kind of helps lead the conversation a little more.
Yeah.
Because I'm externalizing my thought process because it's brand new and I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think it can still be fun also, especially minus the storyline games because I do not want to know what's happening at the end. Don't tell me. But the other games, I think sometimes when you hop onto a live stream, you might actually have people who already have played the game before who hop into your live stream are just like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? This is how you can actually save yourself like so much time. So I think that it's always a good idea to, if you are kind of nervous about starting a new game, that's perfectly understandable, but just try it out because you never know how much time you might be saving because someone might tell you a tip or a trick that you didn't know before. Someone said I think Warzone would be cool too. I'll put that on our radar as well in case anyone of our students are interested in streaming Warzone. And Evren said you may need USB OTG probably. I'm not sure what that is, but if you do know what that is, you might be able to use that for your mobile gaming stream. And what advice, I know since this is going to be the last round, but what advice would you give to anyone who is interested in streaming or anyone who, might be nervous about starting their streaming journey?
The number one advice is only do what you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable with a cam, so many people will tell you you need a face camera. You need a face camera. But there are so many big streamers that don't have one. So just do what you feel comfortable with. And if you do need help, there are I know tons of people, including myself. I have no troubles helping you troubleshoot or set something up. So like, if you're struggling with the technical aspect, there are tons of people who will help you out with that part too.
Yeah, and there's a lot of videos on YouTube. There's a lot of websites that kind of go into detail on how you can stream. So it does take a little bit of time to potentially understand the technical side of things, but there are a lot of easier ways to stream nowadays. So don't feel like you have to create a whole overlay or do all these extra things that you see bigger streamers do. Just start small and like MissWhis said, start with something that you're comfortable with. You don't want to this is not supposed to be something that is a job yet because you're not going to get paid. You're not going to get paid to do it for a little while. People, it takes them years or even a decade or more to become big time streamers. So don't rush it, and good things take time, and that includes building up a streaming platform for yourself.
For sure, yeah. And the one thing that I've really loved about streaming is once you start going into it more seriously, like you're trying to grow your followers and stuff like that, you really get to learn about so many different aspects, marketing and video editing for when you're trying to make like little clips for your channel and stuff like that. So you really do get exposure to a lot of different aspects.
Yes, definitely. And I definitely agree with that. Being exposed to many different cultures and people is something that you always really get from gaming. People
Mm-hmm.
might not think that because some games have certain servers and things like that, but there are still so many different people from different cultures and different sides of the world that might be on one server. So you still really do get to meet everyone or meet all these different cultures without leaving the comfort of your home or
Yeah.
wherever you might be gaming from. Everin said, "Hi, by the way, I made my application yesterday to the school online. Yay, Everin. I hope that you're able to apply and make it in. He played many games and tried learning via courses but could not succeed. He likes to play Counter-Strike. That's also one of the games that one of our students are interested in playing, so you might see that on the channel in the coming weeks. Love to see that, Everin. Hope I'm saying your name right as well. Apologies if I'm not. And one said, right now I'm learning the ins and out of Samsung Dex. It's the or Samsung Dex is the only part of Samsung's flagship phones only, and seeing if I can game on a bigger screen with PC-like experience. Yeah, it's kind of hard doing mobile streams, but I think that once you kind of learn the ins and outs of it, things will be easier. Yes, Caveman, I completely forgot. You can join our gaming Discord. I'm going to drop the link to it right here. Um, but yes, thank you, Caveman, for bringing that up because I definitely forgot about it. We do already have our Discord. Jay is just one of the many moderators who have been putting everything together, and she put together the rules and everything. So shout out to her for doing that. Let me go ahead and copy the link. There we go. So if you are interested, you can join the gaming Discord here. There are a whole bunch of rules to follow to make sure that that gaming Discord stays a safe space. It is not a space for complaints about UoPeople because it is not being run by UoPeople. But please make sure to join if you're interested in seeing our streaming schedule and seeing anything else that we're doing in terms of our gaming output. And um, Ray, I hope I said that right. I'm not sure, but he said, "Why am I happy with your people? I'm so glad to hear you're happy with your people. We are happy with you. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching." And thank you, Caveman, for bringing that up and reminding me about the Discord. It is available for you guys to join so that you can see even more your people students who are interested in gaming overall. And for those of you who are just joining now, I see our viewer count is going up. Love to see it. This is going to be our last run through of Overwatch with MissWhis. If you have not looked in the description box, make sure that you do so that you can follow her on all of her gaming channels. And also make sure to like this video and leave a friendly comment down below so that I know and all of our other students who are streaming esports to the channel know that you guys are enjoying their awesome gameplay. Esports and more. Um, One said just wanted to see if University of the People will um have a chat room, a chat, a chat support base where students like us can chat with each other online while in class. Is that an option now? That would have asked your program advisor because I'm not exactly sure whether or not something like that is already set up. But there is Moodle, which is just an online platform that everyone is able to use while at UoPeople. So you can contact other students while you're taking your course evaluations or while you're actually writing your course assignments. So that's the way that you can communicate. But a lot of our students, they have UO People study groups in Discord. They have WhatsApp groups. They have Facebook groups for UO People. So there's a lot of different ways that you can connect with your fellow UO People students. Um, yes, so that is it for today, Miss Wiss. Is there anything you would like to say to everyone who is tuned in now? Thank you for all of your awesome victories and gameplay so far.
Oh, well, thank you for having me, and it was great chatting with everyone. Thanks everyone for tuning in. It's always great when people come in and ask questions and you can really share your experiences, whether it be with the game you're playing or just some other random topic. It's awesome. So thank you.
Yes, yes, of course. Thank you again, Miss Wiss. No problems. When thank you for all the great questions that you had. And we also do have Yammer if you're interested in connecting with other students on there. So thank you everyone again for joining us today. I hope you all enjoyed the gameplay and see you guys on our next video or live stream. Bye everyone.